We are joined by Professor Mark Jornd from Rend Lake College.
One of the things I found best is, this platform forces them, and I know that sounds a little bit bad, but it forces them to actually look at that material, to go out and seek more information than what is just provided from me or from the course materials. When I look at this, I'm looking for how they do at the beginning versus how they do at the end. And 99% of my students would agree that they have learned a lot more through the course. They have not just in course material itself, but in how to write and how to review other students' work. Side note is, I do put grammar in my rubric, and they do benefit from that as well. They learn how to, write better overall. But it's just really interesting to see the change. And I think that's what I'm looking for is, how I get them, and they're at a certain level, and when they leave, they are just so much better off than at the beginning. When they write something that's just not very good, and then they read a peer's paper, they'll read 3 of their peers' papers, and they're just, way above theirs. They make this realization that I have to step it up a little bit. And they are towards the, the bottom part there. And since the class is mixed with freshmen and sophomores, some of the students have had me, several times, so they kind of know what to expect from me, whereas others don't. And that catches them up really fast. This is an 8-week class, so it moves fast anyway. But within week 2, they are up to speed. They are engaged in class. They're talking, they're discussing things and discussing items outside of what we've read in class or what I've lectured in class, which I think is just a huge step forward. What I liked about Kritik was that sort of closing the loop idea. I give a certain percent, I think I give 50% grade of their grade comes from their original written work. And then 30% of their grade comes from their evaluation of other people's, of their peers' papers. And then 20% is the feedback to the evaluators. And that system sounds really complicated, but it kind of all does it for you. You don't have to work real hard trying to figure out those grades. Whereas, when I was in Blackboard doing discussion boards or even Canvas discussion boards, I'd have to count how many posts they made or when did they post them. I'm doing, they'll do the bare minimum that they possibly can to get the grade. So they're always asking me, well, how many posts do I have to have in order to get an A? And I tell them, no, that's not the way it works. I'll tell you how many you need to get a C. And then the more you do, the better your grade. And that works to incentivize them, but the quality's just not there as compared to Kritik. And I think that's the difference I see. They're experiencing the writing of the paper, the creation as well. So they know what they did. When they go to look at what other people did, if they realize, hey, I cited all my sources and they didn't cite any sources, it instantly pops for them. So that evaluation is much easier for them to handle. Sure, grades kind of, they start a little low and then they go up a little bit and then they it's that learning process of getting it to where they need to be. But absolutely at the end, they're way better at what they do. The more detailed the student becomes in their evaluations, the better that they are. And the more accepting they are of those evaluations. I always tell them that I'm going to review every paper, but by the end, I kind of stopped doing that. I let them start grading each other. And that's what's neat is that it really works. At every stage of this, they're getting better every single time.